And welcome back to another episode of On Air with Dro. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode here on Air with Dro. So I appreciate you guys, the love and support that you guys are giving me through Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and even Anchor. So thank you so much, guys, for tuning in to another episode. I want to give you guys another episode today because we have some great news. As you guys saw on our last interview, we interviewed David Dwork. This week, I want to talk about just sports in general. We have a lot of news, and I haven't been able to post them up for you guys. So, that's on me. I'm trying to get into more content producing for you guys to stay updated, and also, you guys are following me through my Instagram. We're having a lot of, pictures posting, just giving you updates on sports, right? And what better way than to kick it off, with the NHL, right? As we issued on our last episode, the NHL, was coming to a terms for a 2014 playoff matchup, and that is officially confirmed, right? Confirmed, ready to go. The NHL already has their schedule in place, and I can't be more thrilled to see some playoff hockey finally. And the cool thing is that now all of a sudden is that the training camps should be starting tomorrow, actually, July 13th. So a lot of the players are going to be coming back, especially, maybe they've been at home, in Europe or Canada, just all around the world, making sure that they're coming back, training camp, getting started, refresh. And a lot of the players, believe it or not, from what I've seen on Twitter's reaction, and also some of the beat writers that we've been following up and stuff like that, the players are excited. They're stoked. They're ready to go. They've been playing a lot of video games lately, but I think now it's going to be great for them. It's going to be a new atmosphere, which is going to be a little bit interesting. So now, in case you guys don't know, the two cities that are going to be played are going to be in Edmonton and Toronto. Now, the teams that are playing in each hub city, Edmonton is going to be all of the Western Conference matchups. So you're going to see those teams playing on that side. And on the east side, they're going to be playing in Toronto. So, for you Panther fans and anybody else, you're going to be seeing, the Panthers be playing the Islanders in the first round in Toronto, which would be cool. This is going to be a new atmosphere, no fans. So let's see how it's going to be happening, right? The season starts August 1st. So, playoff hockey is here. It's about a couple of weeks away. And like I said before, I cannot be more thrilled than to finally have some breaking news, some hockey, and just sports in general. So very happy and stoked about that. I think the NHL and the NHLPA both did great on getting the players back and understanding, hey, look, this is not just business, but also for the player safety and making sure they're following the right protocols. These players are being tested each and every day. It feels like, the last report there was like 12 players that had tested positive. So, the 2-week span and making sure that these guys are getting the right treatment and quarantine right, it's going to be interesting. And now, you're going to see a lot of the players, or a few of them actually, let's say, possibly opting out. Maybe they don't want to play. Maybe they want to make sure that their families and themselves are, fully situated for, this coronavirus. Because again, it's not to be a joke, of course. So, it's definitely something serious, right? But all in all, as a fan in general, playoff hockey is back. I'm rooting for my Florida Panthers, of course, but let's see other teams, right? Let's see some other teams in the Western Conference or in the Eastern Conference. Who's going to surprise you guys, right? Like, who's going to come out of that first playoff round? Now, another thing is if you really do follow hockey, the NHL draft lottery was about a week and a half ago now, where the first overall pick is not going to be to a team that was under 500 all year or just strictly tanked. It's actually going to be one of the losers in the first round of this playoff. So it's going to be very interesting, right? Where we're going to see, a team who actually performed, at least decent enough in the season get the first pick, which is, I don't know about that, to be honest with you. I don't know how I would feel about that, because I think the lottery is kind of broken now, right? So, if you guys are following up on that, of course, that would be pretty cool too if your team gets the first pick. But all in all, to be honest with you, I think the lottery is they got to replace that. No need for that. But obviously, in hockey perspective, being a Florida Panther fan, I'm very excited that we're going to be playing the New York Islanders. So the Florida Panthers, they love, scoring the puck, right? A goal scoring. I apologize. They love, putting the puck in the back of the net. Obviously Mike Hoffman, Dadonov, Barkov, and Hubert are going to have, those kind of games where you're going to have high scoring matchups, and we just need the defense and Bobrovsky to really show up and making sure, we signed him for a big deal. Obviously this year, has been 50-50 with him. Sometimes being his fault, the defense, and the whole team game. It's a whole team game. For you Panther fans, I know that you guys have been really hard on Bob and stuff like that. So, we'll see how the playoffs will determine how well this team is going to stay together for stability reasons, right? Obviously. Also, I'm a big NHL fan, so I do like watching any other teams, especially like as the other interview that we had with David Dwork, where we kind of went over the matchups and who should we be excited about. I'm obviously looking at Arizona, as a team, maybe even Calgary, stuff like that. So in general, like I said, August 1st is going to be the start of the season for the NHL, or should I say the playoffs. Now, the breakdown, how they're going to really do it is kind of unique. They haven't really mentioned the NBA. I'm sorry, NBA. Sorry, not yet. They haven't mentioned the NHL, how they're going to televise them. But I do know that the East teams, which are playing in Toronto, are going to start at noon, 4 o'clock, and 8 o'clock. Now, for the West side, it's going to be in Edmonton. They're going to do, it's going to be 12:30, 4:30, and 8:30. So 30 minutes difference, where you're going to be seeing games, a lot of games. So it should be very interesting. It's a new way of watching sports, and obviously, not being at the arena and cheering for your team is going to be very different. But let's see how cool it's going to be, and let's see how the players are going to really, act, because at the end of the day, yeah, we're watching them. We get to watch them at least, but the players benefit off the playoff atmosphere, right? 19,000 strong at the arenas, waving their towels or whatever they do for, each and every team, but just being in their home color, home arena, having the goal horn sound. It's going to be very interesting, and we're going to see exactly how mentally these players are going to be ready for. So, that's what I want to know, right? So we're going to figure that out, and kudos to Gary Bettman and the NHLPA and everybody just to get hockey back in, but at the same time making sure that these guys are healthy enough and to play and have a safe environment in these hub cities, and not spread the coronavirus and making things worse, or possibly canceling the season, right? So that was kind of your NHL update. So if you are excited just like me in hockey, awesome. That's what we want to hear. We got playoff hockey is back. On another note, my second topic, we're going to go into the NBA. So NBA fans, raise the roof now. It's your turn. So the NBA, again, that's another great news. We got the players already reporting to Orlando. We're seeing media and Twitter where you're seeing videos and pictures of the meals that they're eating, and hotels and gaming. They're all over the place, right? They're fishing like Ben Simmons is doing. So they're doing a lot of things. You got Joel Embiid coming in the full suit and everything, suited up, making sure no coronavirus is coming in. So as a Miami Heat fan, I'm very excited, especially to see, the Heat perform and getting ready for, basketball season again, because everybody's been waiting for that moment, that tip off, right? So the cool thing is, everything is going to be in Orlando. I think there's like 2 courts in this facility that they're going to be playing. So they're going to have multiple games going on. It almost looks like NBA 2K, like a My Park moment, where you're going to see so many teams going at it on each court. And obviously there's no fans, so another sport where um, there's gonna be no fans, right? Like, what's the mentality these players are gonna be like James Harden, like cooking off the fans, making a big three, just making those big impactful dunks like that the players do. So, it's another sport that's gonna be with no fans, and it should be very interesting. I kind of want to know, like, the playoff atmosphere, like how is it gonna really shoot for these guys that benefit off the atmosphere of the 18,000 strong fans at their arenas. It's gonna feel like it's just like another backyard basketball game on the side, or your regular YMCA, or just your typical park where you and your boys, you get 5-on-5 on the squad, and you just perform, right? So I don't know how it's going to be. It's going to be very interesting. So the Heat, and the other teams that we mentioned before, they're going to have 8 games, right, before like the real, the regular season ends, so they can finish up on the seeding, which is pretty cool. And then from there, it's all about the playoffs. So obviously I'm more excited for hockey in general because I'm a bigger hockey fan. But in NBA, you still have 8 games, to find your final seeding. And then you got playoff basketball, which is going to be a hard grind. So that should be interesting. Like I said, players are already going into the facility in Orlando, kind of practicing, shooting around. A couple of players are still tested positive, taking it easier, making sure that they're fully healthy. So it should be very interesting for the NBA, and the same thing for Adam Silver and everybody in the NBA. Like, as a fan myself, I appreciate the hard work that you guys do. To making sure that the players are going to be safe, and obviously the Black Lives Matter movement is also a very big issue in the NBA, which I think is a really cool thing that they're really endorsing the players to have something on their back. I know they're restricting it a little bit to certain things that you can put on there, but hopefully they can situate that a little bit better to the players and giving them an open choice of what they can do, right? Not just something simple where they this is their platform, right? And this is where the NBA and the NBA players want to use their platform to show what's going on out there. So and I'm a big fan of that. I think they have every right to do so, and that's something that we should be really caring about, because it is a big issue. And we appreciate everybody who's who's part of the movement, where they're reposting on social media, like really getting the community involved. And I think whoever does that, I think it's great that you guys are doing that. It's awesome. For myself, I think I should be more involved. To be honest, I'm not as educated enough and followed up on it, but definitely wanted to speak something about it, of just making sure that, hey, like, what's going out there, we want to make sure that, hey, we're respecting everyone that we can. And it's all a thing where there's no reason why racism still exists in this world. So we just gotta love one another, like Ellen says, and just be really like family bonded. So it's one of those things. I don't want to dive in too much. Like I said, I'm not too educated enough, but I just wanted to throw in my little 2 cents in. But just to I think it's a great thing. Like I said, like the NBA is pushing that with the players and getting it solved in where it's gonna really benefit everybody. I think they're using their platform, and that's exactly what the players want to do. Obviously, with the coronavirus and making sure that they're healthy. But I think it's a good tool where they can really endorse themselves and understand, hey, like, this is a serious issue, and hopefully, it'll raise more awareness all around, and I'm all for it. So I think it's a really cool thing, And to finish up the NBA part, I think it's going to be a great, unique way of finishing the season, making sure hopefully the Miami Heat get top three, and then possibly even championship level. But I think you still have your LA Lakers and LA Clippers, probably from the west side, and maybe Boston and Toronto. I don't know, from the east side. So we'll see. Or excuse me, even Milwaukee. Let's not sleep on Milwaukee, of course. So, it should be a little very, very, very interesting, down the stretch where we're gonna see a lot of teams, a lot of players grind it out. The training camp is just to warm them up. I think they'll still be a little rusty, but shooters are gonna shoot, right? So, of course, in the NBA, we don't have to worry about that, as there's so many players that are just amazing at what they do. Going into the next topic, I want to talk about Patrick Mahomes. I kind of want to know what you guys think about his contract. I think it's a very unique contract that you sign a 10-year deal over $500 million. I mean, great for Patrick Mahomes. Not saying he doesn't deserve it, but it's just like a monstrous contract that you just don't see, right? I think that's the first big contract that the NFL has had, and good for him. Obviously, he's won the Super Bowl. I think that he still has a lot of room to grow as a quarterback. So I think even he said it himself in an article of just like, I just started reading defenses like this past season, and imagine like if he's played like that for 3 years and he's had a Super Bowl and gone to the playoffs a couple times already. Like, can you imagine like what this guy's gonna be? Like, Andy Reid and the Kansas City Chiefs are in luck right now. Like, they're set for life. If it almost feels like. The crazy thing that I was seeing is that pretty much that like his contract is so like crazy that they were saying that Jeff Bezos makes Patrick Mahomes is making $502 million. Yeah, they were saying that Jeff Bezos makes that money in every 36 hours. I was just like fully blown away. Like, that's just crazy. That's like money on trees, honestly. But that's just like a little funny thing that I just saw on Twitter. But pretty much how the breakdown is going to be, from what I'm seeing here, is that his base salary is going to be still, not $1 million yet until 2022. Then pretty much in 2028, he's going to start making starting 2027, he's going to be making $10 million and more. So you're looking at 28, he's making 13, 29, he's making 20.5, 2030, he's making 27, and 2031, he's making 38. So, I mean, to have Patrick Mahomes under $5 million, from 2020 to 2026, I mean, that's a really cheap deal. I think the Kansas City Chiefs really, really, really did a great job on this contract for Mahomes, where he's really not going to hit the big salary until 2027 in reality. $10 million for a quarterback a year. I mean, that's crazy. So meaning like a cap hit, that's like his base salary. But I think his total cash is going to be a lot more expensive. So he's making 10 mil this year. Then it jumps to 22. So that was his base salary, but that's without, roster bonuses and incentives. So I do apologize on that. But yeah, so he's making under. So 2023, is when he's going to really start making the money, which is $40 million per year. Then you got 41, and then 59.5. So in reality, Patrick Mahomes, he's the real winner here. He's a Super Bowl winner. He's got a lot of money now. So good for him, especially since he was a baseball player, now a football player. So really good contract for the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm just more excited for him in general. He's 24 years old. It's, very fun to watch. I love that He's just not like super flashy out there. Obviously, he makes, those like NFL street kind of plays where you just see him just throwing the ball like crazy. But he's kind of one of those quarterbacks that you're just like slowly just watching him flourish, through the league. It's just awesome, honestly, like until he, plays your team, of course, and then that's another different story. But for this contract that he's getting, I mean, he's totally worth it. I would do it in a heartbeat, if I was the Dolphins. But now, the Dolphins have Tua, so we're okay right now. But obviously, Mahomes, he's a Super Bowl winner, so congrats on his new contract here. I think he's gonna be phenomenal. Obviously, in Kansas City, so he should be no problem with that. So that would be pretty cool. That is cool for Patrick Mahomes for that contract. So we'll see how football goes. Right, this year we don't even know what's going on. We know as of right now the Hall of Fame game has been canceled. So we don't know about the preseason. They're thinking they're only playing 2 preseason games and maybe starting the regular season. So we'll see. We still have until around another month in August, and then we'll see what the deal is. I mean, it's crazy. September's around the corner. That's already week 1. Like I just realized that. Wow, like it's right here. I totally forgot that we're in July. So time is ticking. It feels weird because we haven't seen sports in like 3 months. So like everything is coming in really quick, and we're finally getting them. And the last topic that I want to talk about is Major League Baseball, MLB, right? So obviously, if you guys are in the loop, the MLB agreed to a 60-game regular season, which is really crazy because that's 100 games less that they play, which is very crazy to be in this crazy madness, right? So how it broke down with the MLB is obviously it went months and months. It went weeks and maybe like a month or two, just fighting over like, how many games can we play? Like the owners didn't want to pay the players too many games because, they didn't want to lose money. But at the same time, the players are like, well, we're losing money no matter what because we're not playing the amount of games, in the regular season. So I think it was just a back and forth, and I really thought that we were going to have baseball. It was that bad, between Rob Manfred, the commissioner for Major League Baseball, where, he was on a couple of times on ESPN. They were telling him like, hey, like, look, are you guys going to have a regular season or what? And he was just like, oh yeah, 100%, we're going to have a season. And you're seeing these rumors on Twitter and stuff like that. They're like, hey, look, the players are nowhere near agreeing to anything. Nothing is imminent and coming with contracts and games. And they're like, no, we need to play 100. No, we got to play 80. No, we're playing 70. No. Owners were just like, no. And then, a lot of fans were like, man, like we're ready to lose baseball right now. We have hockey and basketball coming in, so they're good with that. But, I thought we were not going to have any baseball this year, which, I was like, okay, well, that sucks. I would have been, devastated because I love baseball. I love, just, the sound of the bat, when people hit home runs, line drives, it's awesome, making, diving plays. So I'm a big sports fan. It's obviously, I want to see the Marlins. So now the Marlins have a shot. Now every team that you're like, dang, you're going to be tanking, like, your Orioles, your Blue Jays, the Marlins, maybe even the Pirates, like all these teams that you're thinking like, hey, look, we're tanking this year, or like we're going to win under 50 games, if it's a 162 game regular season, all these teams now have a shot to, play 60 games and making sure that, hey, anything is possible. They can possibly make the playoffs. So I think they were going to add like another playoff team too. So we'll find out how that comes about. Obviously, we have about a couple weeks, I think, because they start on the 23rd or 24th. So opening day. So we have about less than 10 days actually. Look at that, another quicker schedule. So definitely, guys, I want to thank you guys for tuning into On Air. I think that was just kind of your sports recap, and also me coming back onto the episodes to my own show, just to give you guys an update. I know it's been hard for me, especially with Corona and work. So I definitely want to provide you guys the most content that I can. And just keep following up on my Instagram, my Twitter, my Facebook, and also even YouTube, obviously, when you guys are subscribed. So definitely let me know what you guys think, what you think of the breaking news. Are you guys rooting for anybody in particular in each sport, especially in NHL, NBA, or MLB? What do you guys think of the Patrick Mahomes contract, right? Maybe if you're not a Kansas City Chiefs fan, but you're a Mahomes fan, like, just let me know what you guys think, how it's broken down, and maybe some of the things on our next show we can talk about. So write them down on the comments down below. I do appreciate you guys' time. Thank you so much for the support. Keep the love. On to the next, guys. Take care. This is On Air with Dro. Peace out.